based on the simple premise that utilities have been responding rationally to the marketplace that we've set up for them. And that marketplace is the rule that you get a rate of return for generation only. Thus, House Bill 2506 is based on the premise that electrical capacity generated through conservation and electrical efficiency programs should be financially rewarded. So if I can just illustrate, Mr. Chairman. Right now, if you had this as a 100-watt light bulb, and you had this as a 10-watt light bulb, if a utility paid to install these light bulbs, they would get no return for the capacity that was generated. But if you think about it in a very low-tech way, 100 watts minus 10 watts is 90 watts capacity. And my bill treats that as generation. And that generation gets a rate of, gets the standard, the base rate of return under the substitute. There's a further issue, Mr. Chairman, that if you have the profits that were assumed with electrical efficiency kind of going at this line, and then the profits with the electrical efficiency, the delta is what's called net lost revenue. Now, my substitute assumes that...
I don't think they can see that in the audience. Turn that around there. Oh, that's great.
These people get
paid. This is the old-fashioned power.
This is off my daughter's head. So my bill, Mr. Chairman, assumes that that capacity is going to be able to be sold up to places where you can sell more expensive power, up to Maryland and up into the Northeast. But if it's not, the substitute allows for the commission to grant net lost revenue so that there's not a financial disincentive for electrical efficiency programs. I do not have a provision on the substitute which allows an opt-out for the large industrial customers. I am in active conversation with them, and I think that we can work that. I'm very confident that we can work that out. The meat of the bill is on page 8.
Where would the opt-out provision go?
I think it would be on page 8. The meat of the bill is line 280 to 285. And those 5 lines say exactly what I said, is that you can get the projected and actual cost of electrical efficiency programs plus a general rate of return. In the determination of the commission that it's unfeasible for off-system sales to recover the net lost revenue for electrical efficiency generation, the commission may allow net lost revenues that could not reasonably recover through off-system sales. And that would be where I would insert the opt-out.
I've been reading that commission may do this, the commission may do that a lot. Are we putting a lot? I mean, we're putting a lot on these on our staff.
Mr. Chairman, I would reply that I had originally, if I could look in everybody's books, I could figure exactly how rich this bill is supposed to be, but I can't do that. And what I'm trying to do is to offer enough incentives so that electrical efficiency is treated as a viable generation, but not so much that the ratepayer gets harmed. And that's why I've got to.
I've decided everybody loves green power until they have to pay for it.
Well,
I mean, that's just a theory I have, but maybe it's wrong.
And Mr. Chairman, one further thing, if it would make this committee more comfortable with it, would be an amendment which would say the commission shall only allow rate recovery for electrical efficiency generation if the commission deems such generation to be cost effective, i.e. that you can only generate capacity by installing these bulbs if it is deemed cost effective. That would just
that'll be a whole big hearing to make a determination on whether it's cost effective or not.
Well, I would say that merely having it there is probably a good deterrent for being cost ineffective. We know from the ACEEE report that
what does everybody? I mean, any of the players, what do they think about that? What would they think about that?
I know that at least some of them are. And we know from the ACEEE report that, that generation through energy efficiency measures costs about 30% of traditional generation.
Okay, so you think out would be somewhere on line 8? I mean, on page 8, lines 280 to 285, or before that?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. And I've been working actively with Virginia Manufacturers Association, or if not active, we've at least had active conversations, and we can get this in the proper place before Thursday.
Okay, please do that. Anybody else, anybody wish to speak about House Bill, House Bill 2506? And this is another one I hope that the commission looks at, and I will need to know if you look between now and Thursday, Arlen, or whoever, Cody, or whoever is going to be looking at this, somebody needs to look at these and make a determination and let me know how much, what's going to be involved from the commission standpoint, how much is it, are we just going to, is this going to be the lawyers, utility lawyers relief act, or what, because people come in there all the time filing cases, so somebody could let me know, I'd appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, are you asking us to tell you sort of what we think the process that this bill will generate?
I would like to know.
Would entail, is that the question?
Yes, and I mean, how, if we're looking at how many more hearings we're looking at, if we pass, if all the legislation at the end of the night that we agree on, how much more work that's going to be for you all?
We'll do the best we can. I mean, some of this may be unknowable because it will have
Well,
something to do with
I understand that.
the level and number of applications that we make pursuant to each and every one of these bills. But
Well,
we'll do our best.
here's a thought that I'm having. Some of this